I've seen him tapped out twice. I watched the Curtis Blaze situation where he looked like Curtis Blaze came to beat Tom Aspinall up that night. Tom throws a kick and magically gets hurt. Blowing your knee is blowing your knee. But I would expect a fighter to at least attempt to stand back up or at least limp. And with Tom, he was just completely just out of the fight. These are things that I'm paying attention to. And his last situation was Ciryl Gane. He gets poked in the eye. Normally you see fighters that are doing this number, trying to get the doctor to look at it. And actually, initially, the doctor's just like, he seems fine. Yeah. Tom's like, no, I can't see. And the guy wasn't trying to see. Yeah. The guy didn't want to see. The eye that he was covering appeared to be the eye that actually didn't get penetrated. One eye finger goes all the way underneath the eyelid. The other eye, it was on top of the eyelid. And he ends up grabbing the eye where the finger was on top of the eyelid. So I don't even think Tom really knew which eye was supposed to be more compromised. He just knew that he had been fouled and it was his way out. So that alone shows me a little bit more about what's behind the facade of this whole Tom Aspinall character. I still think Tom's an amazing athlete. I think he's a great fighter. The recon is really important. You know, having information on what you're going up against is really important. And I feel like time is on my side to figure out who this opponent is. Yeah. And if we still fight, it'd be awesome. If not, I don't. It's really
still awesome. You don't need him.
I don't feel like I need him, especially after his last performance. I think time will show the world kind of who I am and what I've done. And you know, just because someone's newer or maybe more exciting doesn't mean that they replace what is already here. I really have gotten to a point in fighting where I feel as if I'm in a position that I have a lot more to lose than to gain. And that's just me being honest. That's not being a coward or whatever. That's just the truth. I'm almost 40 years old now in a combat sport, a very physical sport. Yeah, I have to do things that make the right decision, you know, and fighting just to continue fighting doesn't make sense to me anymore. I feel as if I can earn money outside of punching people. Yeah. And to challenge myself in that way means more to me now than to fight again. But to be at the White House is the reason why I'm out of retirement. It has nothing to do with Aspinall or Pereira or anybody. It was the White House. The idea of being a part of something so historical means more to me than a few extra $1 million or another win in the win column. Yeah. It means the world to me. I've never been to the White House. I've had many opportunities to go and visit the White House. I've never taken anyone up on it, but to compete there, to warm up inside of the White House, and to walk out
through the Oval Office.
I think they said it would be on the South Lawn.
Yeah, I think you would walk out through the Oval Office into the South Lawn.
It would earn me some major points with my friends too. I'm friends with some of our country's top military veterans, and I know that they would find it to be very, very cool. Yeah. Very, very cool. So for me, it's like some of my motivations aren't traditional anymore. You know, I don't think I care about what most fighters would care about. Yeah. Most fighters wouldn't turn down $30 million. They just wouldn't do that. Yeah. My goals are different than other people's these days. Yeah. And White House would be something for my personal bucket list that would just do me a lot.
Yeah, life is.
Сейчас Илья Тафури, ты вот приехал, также Арман, и вот все гадают, вот встретится там Арман с Ильей, что-то будет, не будет. Вот твое появление может предотвратить вот какое-то недопонимание?
Если что-то будет, раз на раз. Других остальных лишних мы будем бить, а все они один на один. Не, я не думаю, что-то. Надеюсь, что ничего такого случится. Это спорт, и нам нужен такой хайп, нам нужен громкие бои, поэтому они работают в правильную сторону, чтобы продвигать свой бой в будущем. Это случится.
What's up, guys? Yeah, man. Come on, chill, so calm down.
Okay. Let's just leave it like that.
Did you get the polarization on what you done? Match it. What are you doing on these colours for us?
It's crazy, right? People are going to say what they want to say. I think Tom just needs to stop caring what people say. regardless, fans are going to say you're soft, you're weak, you quit, you did this, but you're in the cage, you can't see. That's one of your senses. You only got 5 of them. If you lose one of your senses on the biggest stage with a heavyweight that's trying to take your head off, nobody knows that feeling but you. For me, needing surgery, having to sit out a couple months after an eye injury is the hardest part. I think in general, the sport needs to be changed with take a point right away. If fighters get points taken away right away, even if it's a slight eye poke, they're going to start training differently. They're going to close their hands in training. They're going to close their hands in the cage. There's too many guys nowadays that are weasels, right? Some of them will poke you in the eye on purpose because they know it's going to alter it, and maybe I get a point taken away, maybe I don't. I can say it was an accident. So it's just there's too much just thrown up in the air. But if you start taking points away right away, guys are going to have to start making that adjustment in training, in their styles, in their techniques. My future's bright, right? I'm training with young monsters. Ignacio Balmundez is probably 28, and I think he's one of the best strikers in the UFC. Like I said, I got a 17-year-old now, Ignaccio's younger brother, who's a monster, right? It feels like the Epstein files without the sex, right? I'm getting their powers through sparring and training, so it feels good. And I love training every day with these guys. I'm learning from these guys, and I'm growing so much from these guys. The energy they bring, it makes me feel younger, and I'm still young in the sport. My body feels good every single day I wake up. I'm blessed to be where I am right now.
Speaking of Islam, who do you think is most deserving to fight him next?
Either Usman or who else they got then? I mean, I want to see the Topuria fight. Everybody wants to see the Topuria fight. I think it needs to happen. Whether they do it at welterweight or they do it at lightweight, that fight needs to happen. We need to settle it. And I think that Ilya will be a toughest fight because he has that low center of gravity, so he's a lot shorter. So it's going to be harder to take him down and hold him down. So he's got good jiu-jitsu. I see him getting back to the feet, and obviously he's one of the biggest punchers the UFC's ever seen. So I'd like to see Ilya get his hands on him and knock him out.
No, and the problem is, like you say, Jack Della Maddalena, welterweight champion, months of training, and they want me to go over there and beat Islam in 1 day notice. Like, that's impossible, right?
Yeah.
But I think you spot on what you say. Like, if you give Islam space, he's gonna get you in a submission. So the best thing you can do is just survive the round. But that's the problem. First round, and then you got tired, and then the second round, and and then on the 5th, motherfucker was crying. I don't know if you saw that. JDM looked like he was crying, like the frustration.
Just defeated mentally, bro.
Yeah, defeated mentally. And man, that shows how good Islam is and how good Khabib's camp is, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Double fucking champ, brother.
I think him calling, inbred and bomb this and all that stuff. No, I don't do that. If my son was to talk like that, my son would be getting ass whooping from me because I didn't raise him like that. I like Islam. I like all those guys. I have no problem with no religion. But if Guru feels that way, I cannot help him feel a certain way. I can't sway him like, dude, these guys are good people, which I think deep down inside, he believes they're good people too. But another question, you guys asked me, why did I start the show to begin with if I knew this could happen? It's called taking a risk, where I think a lot of you guys out there might not have taken a risk in your life, but I took this risk, meaning that I did not feel that the content he does on his channel will spill over onto the content we make on our channel, right? If you guys look at all the Mighty Guru podcast shows, it is nothing but vibes, good chats, not degrading an athlete, not talking about somebody's religion, And for everybody out there, I have no problem with any religion. As long as you're a good person and you have good morals, I fuck with you.